What is up, innovators? Welcome to the Innovative Lifestyle, the podcast where we talk about all things innovation and how can we apply what we do in business to our personal lives to live the life that we desire by design, right? So that's what the Innovative Lifestyle is all about. It's about living our life by design, living the life that we design and we desire. So, hey, what's up, everybody? What a week! I am glad that this week happened. Really, this week was absolutely fantastic in my mind. This is a week that I was kind of personally struggling going into and getting into because 2025 just seemed to be off to a slow start, and we had just winter storms last week that just was if you heard the podcast last week talked about the obstacles and and how do we overcome obstacles, and there were a lot of obstacles last week, and but I knew that by overcoming those obstacles that the next week was going to be even better, right? And so it was just I'm glad it happened. And going beyond that, and to get to the top of the mountain, you gotta to get the view, you got to climb the mountain, right? And so that's what going through last week was. It's going through all those obstacles and getting through the holidays and the doldrums. That's you get to the other side. And this week was just a fantastic week, and I'm glad because of it, right? And so that was the pain that I chose, and I'm glad that we chose it, and we survived it, and all is good now, right? I don't want to say all is good, but we're this is a fantastic week. I'm excited for the week. So I had just an absolutely fantastic week. Got to talk with my mastermind group, check in with them to see how things are going as we're halfway between our retreats, right? I'm one that I practice what I preach, right? I belong to a mastermind group, just like I invite all of you to join in on our mastermind group. Okay, so excited. That was fantastic. That's always energizing whenever that happens. Hearing how people are killing it and how they're holding me accountable and how they help me to crush it, right, and get to the next level. And that's where we're heading, man. Climbing that mountain, ready for that view. So it's just an exciting week because of that, right? Had a great meeting, great week as far as our manufacturing companies go. I got a couple of real estate jobs that are coming to an end. It's always a huge weight off the shoulders whenever those things finish up. So it's a great week, and I'm ready to roll with it. So this week here on the Innovative Lifestyle, I want to talk about networking, right? And so this is something that I learned about when I was getting my MBA. I had no idea. I never even heard of LinkedIn until I started my executive MBA, and we had to. I think we were forced to join LinkedIn. I think I don't know about forced, but we were highly encouraged to join LinkedIn, and I'm glad I did. Right, because I learned about networking, and I never learned about that, never knew about that before. And so it's a professional tool. If you don't do networking, I highly recommend that you pick up some things from this podcast on how you can use it to grow yourself personally and professionally and various other things. So I posted on Facebook earlier this week, your network is your net worth. And that is the absolute truth. And the reason why I posted that is just I was uh, thinking through some things that we've got going on in a few of the different companies I'm with and running, and I had an opportunity come my way that how am I going to pay for this is what was the first thing that went through my mind, because this is worth it, right? How am I going to come up with this here? And it made me realize that in almost every deal I do these days, I'm not spending my own money, right? I'm tapping into my network and the people I know to help me to fund these deals, right? And then I pay them back generously because when the investments hit, they hit, right? And that's otherwise I wouldn't be looking at them. And so it's not my own personal money that I'm coming out of pocket with. It's my network that is supporting me because they believe in me. They know that I have integrity, all right, and they know that I'm going to do everything I can to hold their money and be accountable to them, because this is the other side of it too, right? is it's easy to lose your own money. I've learned that the hard way, right? It's really easy to lose your own money. It is hard to lose someone else's money. To know that you have to go look them in the eye and tell them, I can't pay you back. That's hard. I'm telling you, that is another reason why recommend, using your network for these types of things. So, and so moving on, right? Like, so the networking thing is absolutely huge, right? Your network is your net worth, right? And so, again, this business concept that I learned from business, right? And I learned it, to how do I improve myself professionally, and whether it's reaching out to people that have skills or knowledge that I wanted to learn, and so I reached out to them to learn more about it, or whether it was something of more like just um, looking for a new job, right? I used to brag, I've never been employed for more than 45 days because I'm good at networking, and I'm able to get introductions, and anytime that I've been unemployed, I have a regimen that I follow. It's eight network, I have a goal of eight networking coffees a week and two networking events every week, right? So you think about that, the number of people that you meet and you go through, and you have interactions with, it's a numbers game. So you find the right matches, and you find a job, and so that's how I used it before. That's how I used it in my professional career. That's how I used it to advance my professional career, right? Is I met people who were in positions that I wanted to be in, right? Or were at organizations that I wanted to be at, or I wanted to learn more about, and so I did that, and I learned from them, and got in, and did that. But now I'm talking about taking it to a whole nother level, right? And that's what the innovative lifestyle is it's taking, how do we take these business concepts, or these concepts that we use every single day without second thought in our business, right? 5S, lean, continual improvement, cash flow, investing. We use them every day in business, and then we're like, oh well, I guess I'm going to go home now and completely forget about all these things that work really well for making money, right? Or really well for creating balance, and I'm just going to ignore them in my own personal life. No, no, no. That's not what the innovative lifestyle is about. The innovative lifestyle is about taking these things that are that work for business. The reason they're used in business by every business or multiple businesses is because they work. And let's use them in our personal life, right? And so that's what networking is, absolutely 100%. And so, you know, uh, so a couple stories, on how networking has helped me, right? So my current when I sold my business, I sold it, that was a direct result of marketing or of networking, right? I, years before, again, I was networking professionally, reached out to a gentleman who was a general counsel for an aerospace company that I wanted to work for. I really wanted to work for them, but I wanted to learn more about them, and I didn't know anyone in there. And so I had a friend make an introduction to this gentleman, and I had coffee. Actually, I had lunch with him. Actually, it was breakfast. I know what it was. It was breakfast at lunch, right? So we had breakfast at lunch. Fantastic place. I still remember it today. And this is 6 years ago. So I had, met this guy, first time ever meeting him, a complete cold introduction from someone I knew professionally, right? So I got an introduction to expand my network, met him for lunch. I said, hey, I'm looking at this. This is my passion. I really love manufacturing, and desire it. But I see that there's an engineering position open at LMI, and he said, well, it's not his department. So, go on. I did not get the job, which is, and it sometimes happens, right? But it doesn't mean that, you know, things were bad, because guess what? 3 years later, I get a call from him and says, "Hey, my brother-in-law is looking for a general manager for a manufacturing plant. I think you'd be great for it, right?" And so I met with him, and had a fantastic conversation. I got along great with him. Met his partner, his business partner, and got along great with him, and ended up, just the job again. The wasn't the right fit, right? But I now have these people that I can talk to and I can relate to, or that I know that are in my network that I know now on a somewhat personal level that I can make recommendations to, that I can make referrals to, that I can, and I will, and I have say that, oh my gosh, you need to go meet so and so, you need to go meet, this guy, and so we've done that, and so we stayed in touch. They were in my network, and I'd make recommendations to them, and so when I started my own business, right? These guys are in my network, and I reached back out to them, said, "Hey, I'm, just looking for additional customers. Was curious if, I know that, because I interviewed for the position, know that you have this manufacturing company. Would you be interested in any of the services that I offer?" And they flipped the script on me, right? Turned around and said, actually, no, we appreciate, the opportunity, and in fact, we'd like to acquire your company to offer these services full time for us as well as for others. And so that's how I sold my business, right? Is directly a result of my network, right? And so a second story with networking, right? As if that's not enough of one, like that one story should have you going, "Oh my gosh, this is exactly like I need to meet more people. I need to be more engaged in this." Absolutely you do. If you don't get anything else out of today's conversation, know that that is what you need to be doing. You need to be drinking a lot more coffee, right? Or tea if that's your thing. So story number two is I sell my businesses and I know that I want to grow, financially. I want to grow another business. I want to do a real estate investment business, but I didn't want to spend my own money on a house. I didn't want to drop $150,000 and have it tied up in a home until I can finish getting the rehab and then refinance out of it because that's my business model on that. So I reached into my network and said, hey, I knew a few people had funded real estate deals before, and so I reached out to them and said, hey, I know that you've done this before. Would you be interested in funding one of my deals, funding one of my investments? And they said, absolutely, we'd love to. Right? We know who you are. I have a relationship with you. You're in our network. We talk all the time. We know that you're a person of integrity, and so they loaned me the money. And we went through the process. They loaned me the money. I flipped the house. I paid them back, and guess what? You do it again, and then you do it again, and you do it again, and that's how when you hear these stories about start your business with other people's money or OPM, right? And this is how you do it. You do it through networking. All right. And so you grow your network and you expand and that's how you get financial success. Right. And you can go slower, right? And spend your own money and risk your own money. But like I said before, right, it is a lot harder to hold yourself accountable, right? It's easier to lose your own money. It really is, right? And when you have someone else's money and they've given you trust and they believe in you, right? You're going to do everything you can to make sure that they get their investment back, and right, and so it's a huge thing for you. And so that's where when I say your network is your net worth, right? These are financial examples. I know that the reason I share financial examples is so many people who are interested in the innovative lifestyle, which is a life by your own design, they're always worried about the money, right? And so I share these here because everyone worries about the money, worries about the money, and worries about the money. But I will tell you right now that I'm sharing these because guess what? When you stop worrying about the money and you realize that it's not about the money, it's about living the life that you want. It's about living life on purpose, intentionally. The money shows up, right? When you are a person of integrity because you set out to do what you say you're going to do and you network with the right people, the money shows up. It is a flippin' miracle, right? And so when we spend all of our time focusing on, I don't have money, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're in the complete wrong mindset, right? And that's why I'm sharing these stories is because guess what? The money comes not when you focus on the money, but when you focus on doing the other things right. When you focus on having your vision and working your plan and executing daily and having people that hold you accountable in your life, right? When you follow that process, the money shows up, right? And that's where your network is your net worth, right? Because guess what? When you're living your vision, right? And you're working your plan and you are hustling every single day, right? You're going to the gym. Guess what? There's now people in your network from the gym that you know, right? You talk to people, you meet with people. When you say, "Hey, I want to learn about real estate investing," and you go to a real estate investment association, bam, you got people with money in your network, right? Going there. Or you say, "Hey, I want to learn about product development." So I go to the Product Development Management Association. Bam, you've got people there who are going to help you and improve you, right? And that's that and grow your opportunity. Or, hey, I'm interested in entrepreneurship. So I go to the entrepreneurship networking event. Bam, there's people there that are going to teach you the things that you don't know, that you're going to engage in your network and you're going to learn things from them. Not all of it's going to be dollar for dollar exchange. Some of it is literally just an exchange of knowing each other, right? It's a tremendous, there are multiple people in my life that my life is more valuable simply by me knowing them. Period. They've never given me a penny. I've never given them a penny, but I have so much more value from them because I know them. My kids are a perfect example. My wife is a perfect example. I am a much better person from meeting my wife, right? And I'll tell you right now, there is not, while we share finances, there is not a financial obligation there, right? Or a financial relationship there. There's a relationship well beyond that, okay? And so there's a key to this networking thing that really ends up in improving your net worth. And so, to network is really easy. And I think it's got this huge, weird name on it that some people like, if you know it, you know it. But if you never heard of it, like I remember the first time I heard the word networking, and there's probably still days where I hear networking, I'm like, what the frick does that really mean? Right? And it is simply just meeting people. Let's call it what it really is. Networking is simply just meeting people and being interested before being interesting, right? And so that's what I like to do. And so a few ways that I like to network is I like going through people that I know and seeing who they're connected to, right? And see if there's someone that they're interested that they're connected to that I find interesting or I want to learn about or I want to learn about their company. I'll reach out to that guy, to that connection and say, "Hey, would you be willing to make an introduction?" Right? And 90% of the time, maybe even more than that, people those people will say, "Yeah, absolutely, I'll make a connection," right? So that's one way that I network. Another way is I just flat out reach out to people, right? I go on LinkedIn, go on Facebook, and find someone I want to meet. Bam, I'll reach out to them. Be like, "Hey, I'm doing that next week, right? Next week, I'm going across the state to network with someone that we've never met in person before, right? I liked his LinkedIn profile. He liked my LinkedIn profile. We said, "Hey, we're both in this area pretty often. Well, next time we both land in the same city together. Let's have coffee, right? We're having lunch next week, right? So that's how that works, right? And so just cold reach out. The other is going to events, right? If you're one that is a little you're intimidated with kind of the cold outreach, just go to an event and meet people and see how it's done, right? There are networking events all over the place. You want a really easy one? Go to a real estate association, right? Those are awesome for that. I'm literally sitting here in a building that is all about collisions and connecting people. That's literally their thing. I think it's even their Wi-Fi password, right? Is it has to deal with connecting people. Okay, and this is it's a co-learning space, so they want people to connect, and that's this is I'm telling you, this is that important. Okay, so I go to different events, go to find a trade association, find a local co-working or some type of collab space, and go network there, right? Meet other people, get to grow your network, right? And don't grow down, grow up, right? If you want to be in a room full of suits, go to an event with a room full of suits, right? If you want to be in a room full of people who are interested in something specific, go there, right? And this is why why apps and things like Meetup and all them exist is because this is really that important. So, guys, I hope you got something out of this week. I really appreciate you listening. Continue to plug in to the innovative lifestyle. I love doing this. I really do. And I had, like I said, we had our mastermind, kind of catch up this past week, and before that, one of the members, reached out to me. He and I were on the phone, and he said, "Hey, if you could do anything, but you can only do one thing, what would it be? Despite the money, what would it be?" And it absolutely would be the innovative lifestyle. I get such a joy out of this here because the innovative lifestyle absolutely changed my life. Learn when I learned how to create a vision and develop a plan and execute and have accountability with my mastermind group, it literally changed every aspect of my life, and I'm so thankful for it. And so that's why I'm so encouraged to do this, why I keep showing up, keep doing this here, and why I love the innovative lifestyle and why I want to keep pushing the innovative lifestyle. If there's something you want to know, I'm an open book, right? Come reach out and join us on the Facebook or on Facebook group. Join us on LinkedIn. Check out our website www.theinnovativelifestyle.com, right? And join one of our masterminds. I'll tell you what, if you are really wanting to take your life to a whole nother level, right? Learn this process and learn this framework and get with people who are ready to take their life to the next level just like you are, right? And that's what I'm saying, get in the room with the right people because that's absolutely key to this here, right? So check out our masterminds, www.theinnovativelifestyle.com/mastermind. I'm putting together some more courses that I'll be publishing over the next few months. Continue to follow us, like us on LinkedIn and Facebook, and guys, have a wonderful week. Go out and live the life you designed, you desire. Live an innovative lifestyle.